We'll start with the prayers. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shruniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatra Stirairangaihi Sushubhagam Sastanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vritashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaha Swasti नस्ताक्षोररिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. I welcome you all back to the Mandukya Upanishad, the Shankara Bashyam talks. In the beginning, I want to wish you a very, very happy and successful new year. May all your wishes come true, and with the blessings of Shankaracharya, we once again begin our study. Before we go into the fourth chapter, I want to give you a quick summary of where we stand today, what we are doing. Of course, there will be some introduction given in the fourth chapter itself. For those who are joining us today for the first time, to give you a synopsis of what we are studying in Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad consists of 12 mantras. Very, very short Upanishad, but very profound Upanishad. The basic thesis in this Upanishad is we all experience three states of consciousness: waking, dream, sleep. The Upanishad wants us to analyze these three states in a very, very in-depth manner, which we will study in the fourth chapter also. So don't worry if you have missed the first three chapters, don't be. Continue the session. You will follow what is the essence of this Upanishad. So, three states we all experience. The question which the Upanishad wants us to ask is, are these three states real, permanently existing, absolutely existing, or they are relatively existing? This is the fundamental question which the Upanishad wants all of us to ask. You ask yourself, I'm experiencing now the class. Do I experience this class in my dream? No. Do I experience this class in my sleep state? No. Am I experiencing the sleep state now in the waking state? No. Am I experiencing the dream state now in the waking state? No. Which means what? The waking state experiences are not there in the dream. They are not there in the sleep state. That means my current experience of the waking state is relative. The states are related, but the knower or the seer of the states, which is called as Turiya Atma, is constant. It's invariable. Our experiences in the waking states are different than the dream state and the sleep state. But the knower, there is some thing which is common to all three states, which is called as Turiya Atma. Turiya means it is the fourth pada. In Mandukya language, waking state is the first pada. Pada means a leg. Dream state is the second pada, a second realm of experience. Sleep state is the third realm of experience. But none of the three states can exist without consciousness principle. That consciousness principle can exist by itself, whereas the three states cannot exist independently. I'll give you an example. Dream state, the dream experiences, do they independently exist, or are they dependent on the waker Atma? It is the waker who lends the existence to the dream world. And then he withdraws it. And then he comes back to the waking state. Similarly, the sleep state. The waker itself becomes the sleep state. He enjoys the sleep state for some time and then comes back. What Mandukya Upanishad wants to ask is, there is a Turiyam state which you don't know, which you are ignorant about today. But the Upanishad is give you that information. There is a Turiyam state which is independently existing, which is my real nature, which is called as Satchidananda Swarupa Atma. With reference to that state, the waking state is unreal. Waking state is mithya. Real state is mithya. It is available for experience. But it doesn't have its own existence. I, the Turiya Atma, alone lend existence to the waking world. I, the waker, alone lend existence to the dream world. So the three states are basically an appearance. In the waking state today, will you say my dream, yesterday's dream experience was just an appearance? It was not an existent thing. It was not a real thing. Yes, all of us will agree. But you will not agree that the waking state is also an appearance, because you're standing on in the waking state asking the question. Gaudapadacharya, the author of the Karikas means a commentary written on the 12 Upanishads, mantras. He is asking the question, can you wake up to your real nature? Which is what Bhagavad Gita is also asking us to do. The second chapter, in the 13th chapter, Nyeyasya Nitya Sannyasi. In the 13th chapter, Nyeyam. What is Nyeyam? Turiyam. Know the Turiyam as your real nature. And then be free. Moksha is instant. Suppose you know, you are able to follow my logic as given by Gaudapadacharya, will also understand it's a very simple thing. It's a very, very simple thing, but you need to get soaked in this idea of Turipada for a length of time. I am the Turiya Atma. I am not at all affected by anything happening in the waking state. Body is affected, body is born, mind is affected, mind is born. World is anyway appearing, disappearing. Body, mind gets affected. But I, the Atma, the Turiya Atma, is never affected. This is a knowledge. This is the knowledge of the scriptures. And Shankaracharya says, Jnanat eva kaivalyam. Moksha, freedom, comes purely by knowledge. That is why attending sessions classes are very, very important. In Brahma Sutra, he clearly says that no amount of karma which you do will help you, which will give you moksha directly. Karma will only help you to have chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. But jnanam alone will liberate you. This is a this is a broad understanding of Mandukya Upanishad. In Mandukya Upanishad, in the 12 mantras, the seventh mantra gives the description of Turiya Atma. What does it say? It is Turiya Atma is not the consciousness which you experience in the waking state. It is not the consciousness which you experience in the dream state. It is not the ignorance which you experience in the sleep state. But it is something transcendental. It is beyond the three states. It doesn't give a description of Turiyam in a very clear manner, but it gives an indirect definition of Turiya Atma. It says Prapancha Upashamam, which was discussed in chapter 2, Advayam, discussed in chapter 3, and now we are going to study chapter 4, Alata Shanti Prakaranam. This Turiyam is something which you have to understand clearly and own up that as your real nature. It's not easy, but everybody can do it. But thousands of people, seekers who have come to Mandukya Upanishad, understood the seventh mantra, contemplated on the seventh mantra for a few years, and have found tremendous joy, peace, and happiness. You can be one of them. Therefore, know this Turiya Atma through the study of fourth chapter during 2026. It will take one full year for this chapter 4, maybe more, I don't know. But there are 100 mantras which we have to analyze, understand, contemplate, own up. So the seventh mantra, which I will be showing to you in one of the slides in this today's class, you will know what this Turiya Atma is, but that is the most important. Another important aspect of Mandukya Upanishad is it gives us the definition of Om. Om, everybody knows. But what is the content of that Om? The symbol Om, you will get the real content of it when you study Mandukya Upanishad. The Om consists of three letters, A, U, Ma. A stands for waking state, U stands for the dream state, Ma stands for the sleep. So you chant Om and meditate and then stop. Again chant Om and meditate and stop. Continuously, if you do this for 10 minutes, you will become aware of the gap between the two Oms. Once you are aware of the gap between the two Oms, Upanishad says that gap is the silence, amatra. That bindu which you see on the top of Om, that bindu is the amatra, which is called as the silence. That silence represents Turiya Atma. A, O, Ma stand for the three states. The silence, which is symbolized by the bindu there with a dot, that stands for the Turiya Atma. A very important fact given out by Mandukya Upanishad is without I, the Turiya Atma's presence, there is no world. You have to contemplate and on this particular sentence. If you stand on Turiya Atma, you alone are. In that silence between the two alphabets, A, U, Ma, after the silence, in that silence, there is nothing. There is only you. The awareness principle without the Tripti. Triputi means what? The knower, known, and the knowing instrument are not there. When the knower, knowing instruments are not there is only Atma. So with this knowledge, a brief knowledge, let's enter the fourth chapter. See, as usual, for those who are new, Shankaracharya writes notes. He gives an introduction for every mantra when he writes a bhashyam. These are all the exact words used by Shankaracharya, the general introduction to the chapter. I will give you the synopsis of it and then proceed. So, but if you are interested, you can go through, you can revise at home, you can take a printout of these notes which I have sent to you by WhatsApp, and you can go through them at your leisure. The general introduction is for the overall introduction to the fourth chapter. Here, Shankaracharya gives a synopsis of the first three chapters, which I have given to you already, but now he's giving it. Let's see how he does it. In one sentence, Shankaracharya summarizes chapter 1, 2, and 3. The first chapter, what are the contents of the chapter? The first chapter is called as Agama Prakaranam, Vichara. Vichara means inquiry. And what is basically inquired in the first chapter? Chaturmatra Omkara and Chatushpat Atma. Chaturmatra means what? A, U, Ma and the silence are discussed in the Chaturmatra Omkara Vichara. And then what does it say in the end of this Vichara? It describes the silence as Shantaha, Shivaha, Advaitaha. This is about the Om and the silence. Then Chatushpat Atma. What is Chatushpat Atma? The four legs of Atma are Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, and Turiya. Vishwa means the waker. Taijasa means the dreamer. Prajna means the sleeper. And what is Turiyam? Turium is the substratum, consciousness, existence, principle, on which these three waker, dreamer, sleeper are continuously appearing, disappearing. For several births, it's a process which is going on and on and on. That is what is this whole world which you are talking. And how does this Chatushpath Turiam is described? In the same way as the Chaturmatra Omkara. Shantam. Shantam means absolute peace, not the relative peace. Relative peace, everybody gets it. When you sleep, you get very nice peace. Or you do some meditation, you'll get some peace. Or you do some japa, you'll get some peace. You go and watch a mountain or a sunrise or a sunset, beautiful scenery, ocean. You sit in front of the beach, in the ocean, you will have some peace. All these peace are only a small, tiny bit trickle compared to the peace of Atma. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha. Bhagavad Gita. Astita Prajna is happy within himself. Why? Because he knows the Shanta Atma. You also can know the Shanta Atma and become free, and you can enjoy absolute peace. The peace of Atma is cannot be described. You have to just experience it yourself. Shivam. Shivam means auspicious. Most auspicious thing in this entire universe is this Turiya Atma. And another very important word in Mandukya Upanishad is Advaitam. Very, very important word. Chapter 1 talks about Advaitam, chapter 2 talks about Advaitam, chapter 3 talks about Advaitam, chapter 4 talks about Advaitam. What is Advaitam? Very simple, very easy to understand. In our waking state, we experience Dvaita. I am the subject and the world is an object. In dream also, I am the dreamer and then experience dream objects. In sleep also, I am the sleeper and I'm experiencing ignorance, which is the object of the sleep state. All the three states are Dvaita Anubhava. Turiya alone is Advaita. In Thuriam, there is no subject-object division. There is no division, it is called as Advaitam. There is no two. There is not a second entity called Anatma in Turiyam. There is no second Atma in Turiyam. Turiyam is Ekam. Ekam means non-dual. And it is Advaita. But we are seeing so many things, so many human beings are there. What about all the jivas here? How do you say Advaitam is the truth and Dvaitam is not the truth? Why? How come you say this? We say this on the strength of Mandukya Upanishad mantras, which says Dvaitam is mithya. Mithya means what? It's just an appearance. It comes and goes, comes and goes. Yesterday I took Bhagavad Gita class. A new session started yesterday. It came in. Can I hold on to it? Today I'm taking this Mandukya session. I can't hold it to tomorrow. It will be gone. So this world is continuously changing experiences. Waking experience, dream experience, sleep experience, again waking experience, dream experience, sleep experience. In the first chapter, the 12th mantra is that which doesn't have any parts, which doesn't have a sound, which cannot be comprehended by the senses, is this Om. It is the fourth pada. It is the same as the Atman described in the seventh mantra. And then what does it say? One who knows this Atma clearly. The word clearly is very important. That is why we are studying fourth chapter to understand this Atma better and better. Separate the Atma from the Anatma universe by knowledge. The one who knows this Brahman or Turiya Atma merges his self with the Supreme Self, which is Paramatma. Individual self merges with the Supreme Self is called as Aikyam. It is called as Mahavakyam. So the 12th mantra of the first chapter is a Mahavakya mantra which talks about identity between Jivatma Paramatma. I talked to you about the seventh mantra. This is the seventh mantra. Please by heart this mantra. Anytime you want to meditate on yourself, use this mantra. Na anta pragnam, na bahish pragnam, no bhayata pragnam, na pragyana ghanam, na pragyam, na pragyam. Adrishyam, avyavaharyam, agrahyam, alakshanam, achityam, avyapadeshyat, ekam, ekam, ekama, ekatma pratyasaram, prapancho upashamam, shivam, advaitam. Chaturtham manyante sa atma savigneyaha. Very important definition of Atma when you study all the 10 Upanishads or 12 Upanishads. This mantra, I'll take it as number one amongst all the mantras because it is an easy mantra uh, for the just a minute. So this is an easy mantra for us to meditate. It is easy for us to contemplate and understand our own real nature. Advaita Tattvam is the ultimate reality and it establishes Advaita Pratigna. Means it tells us that this is the ultimate essence of this whole universe. What is essence? Turiya Atma is the essence of this entire universe. That was the Agama Prakaranam, chapter 1. Second chapter is called as Vaitatya Prakaranam. It establishes Bahya Vishaya Bheda is Mithya. What does it mean? Or whatever I experience outside my body, it is an appearance, including my body, because body is also an object for awareness, consciousness. Mind is also an object for awareness, consciousness. In the outside world, we see that there are differences. Your mind is different, my body is different, the world is different, a desk is different. So many differences are there. But all of them have a common denominator which is called as Turiya Atma. Vaitatyam means what? It is false. It is unreal. So the second chapter teaches us, and logically it establishes by two Anumana Vakyams that the world is an appearance, unreal appearance, exactly like the dream world. What is the first Anumanam? Anumanam means inference. See, when we study Mandukya and we study the Bhashyam, you must be ready to go deeper and deeper into the knowledge portion. Same thing in Bhagavad Gita also. When I start the second chapter with Shankara Bhashyam, you will see the big difference. In the first chapter, I will be going very fast. So, but here we are going to go to the depth of the entire scriptural literature which is there in our Hindu Shastra. So, in the second chapter, there are two Anumana Vakyams, inferential statements. First inferential statement is Jagrat Prapancha Mithya, Mithyatvat Swapna Prapanchate. Jagrat is Mithya. Why is it Mithya? Because it is exactly like the Swapna. The Waker's universe is unreal because it is exactly like the dreamer's universe. From the consciousness standpoint, you see, even now when you are listening to this class, you should make a difference between consciousness and the body which is listening to the talk. Consciousness is not changing. Words are changing. Vrittis of the words which come into my mind are changing. But consciousness is always there. I am is consciousness. Always be aware that I am. In waking state, I am. In deep state, I am. In sleep state, I am. Objects are different. Yesterday's objects are not today's objects. Morning, what I did, evening, what I'm interacting with a different world. But I, the consciousness, is not changing. That is the invariable Turiya Ma. So that is the first inferential statement. What is the inference? Jagrat prapancha mithyatvat swapna prapanchavate. Exactly like the dreamer's world is this waker's world. Second anumanam. Atyanta abhavam. Jagrat is mithya. Atyantyoho abhavat swapna prapanchavate. Atyanta abhavam. It is absolutely it is not there. It is there temporarily. Before Sushupti Kala, before arrival of Jagrat Avastha, again later in Swapana or Sushupti, at the end of Jagrat Avastha, there are differences. So Jagrat is not there in Swapana. Swapana is not there in Jagrat. Jagrat and Swapana both are not there in Sushupti. Sushupti means sleep. Which means what? All these three states are relative experiences. They are not absolute experience. Absolute experience is the only experience of Turiya Atma, which is I am. Full stop. Don't say I am a waker, I am a dreamer. Waker, dreamer, sleeper is invariable. Changing. It is variable. Changing. I am is invariable. So there are two beautiful mantras which are used by Shankaracharya here. to show how Jagrat is Mithya. The avastha itself is Mithya. What to talk about birth of a child, birth or death of a person, a body, and all that? Those are all small little things. Na nirodho chotpattir na bandhur na sadhakaha. There is no birth or death from Turiam standpoint. From Turiam standpoint, you are always free. There is no bondage for you. There is no liberation for you. This is a profound mantra of the second chapter. I'm revising the second. I have not yet come to the fourth chapter, which I don't know. I'm taking it slowly because there are some newcomers. I want them to understand Mandukya. The sixth verse of the second chapter. That which is non-existent in the beginning. World is not existent when I am there. That means when I am there, the waking state is not there. I am there as Turyatma. Always. That is not changing at all. But waking state is something which comes and goes. It is there now, but again it will end when I am going back to sleep. Again it will come back. So what comes and goes is not there even when I'm experiencing. See, that is the thrilling portion of this verse. It is an illusion that it is there, but they cannot be regarded as real as I, the Atma. See, we must understand that any mithya vastu, like a rope snake, needs a rope. A dream mithya needs a waker. A mirage water needs sand. Shell silver requires shell. All these are substratum. Ornaments require gold. Gold is the adhishtanam, sand is the adhishtanam, the rope is the adhishtanam for the mithya padarthas. So Jagrat Prapacha is mithya. What is Satyam? I, the Turiya Atma, na anta pragnam, na bahish pragnam, no bhaya pragnam. That description of that Atma is the adhishtanam. And knowing that itself is moksha. Why? Because it doesn't allow anything to remain in it. This is another fact it should strike you. It is always asangaha. That is why in Brahmanyana Vallimala, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahma eva naparaha. This sentence which comes out, which is written by Shankaracharya, is the central sentence you should keep in your mind throughout your study. Whether you're doing Brahma Sutra, whether you're doing Upanishads, whether you're doing Bhagavad Gita, all the time you must have this central sentence. This is the fundamental hypothesis of Shankaracharya. What is the hypothesis? Brahma Satyam. Satyam means it remains the same in three periods of time. Mithya means it keeps on changing. It is never the same, always changing. That Mithya is what is called as Maya. So Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satyam. And who is this Jiva? The one indweller in this body, which we study in the second chapter, 20th verse of Bhagavad Gita. That Jiva is called Dehi. And that Jiva is none other than Brahman itself. So who knows this? Ultimately, I, the Jiva, who And the Ahamkara, who am studying the Mandukya Upanishad, realize that I am not this mind, but I am the consciousness which is illumining the mind, illumining the world. Just a small digression, you will you will you will understand why it is important. In Brahma Sutra, for which notes I'm writing now to be put on the website, in the fourth sutra of the first chapter, Tattu Samanvayat, Shankaracharya beautifully gives out a very important fact. He says in Bhagavad Gita, in the 20th verse of the second chapter, we say Dehi. It talks about Dehi Nityamayo, Deyam and all that. That Dehi means what? Indweller. Dehi means indweller. And Shankaracharya clarifies this Dehi. Beautiful clarification he gives. He says there are two Dehis. I'm digressing from this Mandukya. I want to give you that small little hint. Dehi refers to two types of Dehi. Dehi means indweller in this body. One indweller is the Ahamkara, which keeps on saying, Karta, I am the Karta, I am doing, I am studying, I am running, I am walking, I am eating. That is the Ahamkara. That is one ego which is there in this body mind complex. Many people come and tell me, I hear some sounds inside myself. That is the Ahamkara. There is another Dehi in the same body. Mundak Upanishad there says about two birds. Shankaracharya talks about the same thing in Brahma Sutra. He says the second Dehi is the Sakshi Dehi. Sakshi Dehi means it is the indweller in this body. As long as you are experiencing the physical body, you will call that as Sakshi. Sakshi is the second bird of Mundaka Upanishad. The second bird is not experiencing the fruits of this world. Ahamkara is experiencing all the fruits of the world. Sukham, dukham, sukham, dukham. Every day, the individual jiva is experiencing. But the Sakshi is non-changing, ever the same, which is the central theme of all the Upanishads. Turyam is that Sakshi. As long as you are experiencing the body mind complex, you give the name Sakshi. Outside the body, it is called as Turyatma. Inside the body, it is called as Sakshiyatma. So, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mitya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Jiva is the same as Brahman. It is identical to Brahman because it is the Adhishthanam for the Jivatma as well as Paramatma. The whole universe is regarded as Paramatma's body. My body is small. Paramatma's body is big. But the one dwelling inside the body is the same. Same Atma. You remove the Parama and Jiva. What is common between Jivatma and Paramatma? Atma is common. That Atma is Turiyat. See how deep this one word sentence can take you. I can talk for 10 hours on this Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. So we have to receive, register, comprehend, and assimilate the teaching of chapter 1, 2, 3 very, very carefully. When you come to Mandukya Upanishad, you are a seeing student. Even if you're a junior student trying to understand the Mandukya, no problem. Please do it. If you have the time, come and study Mandukya Upanishad. Nothing wasted in the spiritual study. You keep on listening, and what will happen is all these ideas, one day they will all gel together and will be in joy. You will say, how come I missed this essence of this Upanishad for such a long time? So I am Atma, everything else is Anatma. What we studied in the Tattva Bodha, we study again in Mandukya Upanishad. The three avasthas, the five koshas, the three sharirams, and the three panchas, the three worlds. They are all Anatma. Waker, dreamer, sleeper, Anatma. Turiyatma is the Adhishthanam, exactly like the rope, shell, sand, gold, and clay. Clay means pot, clay pot. Okay. If you don't understand anything in what I am talking in the class, you're totally free to ask me a question at the end of the talk. I didn't understand this. Can you explain? Or you can you if you have any questions which comes to you, you can put it in the chat box. We will discuss it at the end of the talk. So if Advaitam has to be established, one of them must be proved unreal. Can we prove that Anatma is real and Atma is unreal? No. Why? Because Atma is constant. Anatma is changing. By proving the unreality of Anatma, Atma's reality is established, non-duality is established. But not by proving the reality of Anatma. If Anatma is real, Atma is real, then what will be the problem? There will be two realities. One reality will, and you will never have moksha. That is what we study in the fourth chapter. Vaitatya siddhasya advaita satyatva siddhaha. By falsifying the world, Advaitam is Satyam is established. Siddhaha. Mandukya first chapter is Advaita Pratigna, Shruti Pradhanam. There is no yukti there. Yukti means there is no logic given in the first chapter. You will have some simple logic. Logic comes in the second and third. In the second chapter, Advaita Satyatva Siddham. Advaitam is Satyam. Vaitatyam means what? Falsification. We falsify the world and say and Turiyam is Satyam. That is the second chapter. Shruti is not given importance in the second chapter. Third chapter, Shruti and Yukti both are introduced for Advaita Siddhi. Shruti means the 12 months, and the Yukti means logic. How logically we can establish that Atma, I the Atma, real, and the three states are appearances. What about the fourth chapter? Fourth chapter proves Advaita Darshanam alone is the right knowledge. Fantastic analysis. Once you start the mantras from mantra number 3, you will start enjoying it because there's so much of reasoning. A lot of people they love to the reasoning part of Upanishads. I've given you the first and second summary. The third chapter summary is in the 8th point. Sakshat nirnaya samshaya viparyaya rahitaha. Which means what? Direct establishment of Turiyam is reality. without any samshaya. Samshaya means doubts. Or viparita bhavana rahita. Viparita bhavana means opposite ideas. There is no, first of all, you may have doubt whether Turiam exists. That is removed. Then you may have a doubt. Why not we say waking is real and Turiam is unreal? That is also removed in the third chapter. So without any obstacles, Advaita Punaha Nirdharitam. Once again, Advaitam is proved Nirdharitam. It is established. Uttama Satyam is concluded in the third chapter, 48th verse. See, in the second chapter, I gave you two verses. Those are the two most important verses. In the third chapter, this particular verse, number 48, is extremely important. Na kaschid jayate jivaha. This jiva, egocentric, separate existence, is not born at any time. It is only appearing as though real. Why does it say so? Because there is no cause for jiva to appear. Because ultimately, what is the truth? Brahman alone exists. And in that, there is no other birth or existence possible. It is only an appearance. So this verse 48 is again a proof. These are all the pramanams for Ajativada. I'll explain to you Ajati a little later, but the Ajati means nothing is born, it is all appearances only. Prapancha Upashamam and Advaitam are key words. In the second chapter, Prapancha Upashamam. Prapancha Upashamam means what? This entire universe consisting of so many galaxies and stars and so many beings and living beings and so much. All that is nothing but it is one consciousness. And that consciousness is ever free from the universe. Kaivalyam. It alone is. Kaivalyam means it alone is. Suppose that it alone is, and you believe that that is the consciousness. I alone am all the time, all the time. I am changeless. I am the body is a wrong notion. All these things Shankaracharya will explain in the following Karika. Universeless Advaitam Ahasmi. Very important sentence. See, in the sleep state, I don't experience the universe, but I exist. I exist as Atma, as Turiya Atma. In that Turiya Atma, I don't experience any of the universe. Therefore, this statement, Aham Asmi, I am there, but the universe is not there. Therefore, what is the ultimate truth? I am is the ultimate truth. Whatever comes after I am is called as Jnana Adhyasa and Artha Adhyasa. This is technical. I am, you don't need anything. You don't need a mind also to say I am. To say I am, you will require a mind and a tongue. But to be I am, you don't need the body. The moment you start in the waking state, you start using your mind, and therefore Jnana Adhyasa will start. I am born is Adhyasa. I am this body. I am young. I am old. I am suffering. I am. All this is according to Vedanta. It is Adhyasa. Adhyasa means what? Your consciousness, if you know, whatever your mind thinks, is a vritti. I'm going extremely deep in today's talk, but I can't help it because I'm giving you a summary of a chapter, summary of Mandukya Upanishad, 3 chapters. Here, I have to go deep. So, jnana adhyasa is when I start having notions in the mind. Without the notions who I am, Atma, Turiyatma, consciousness. What is Turiyatma? Pure consciousness. I am. This I am, pure consciousness, is your real ultimate state. No state and be free today, right now. That is what is called as moksha. We study so many verses in Gita, 701 verses. The essence is only this. All the 701 verses of Bhagavad Gita, all the Upanishadic mantras, 10, 12 Upanishad you study, the essence is only this. I am ever free, Nitya Mukta Atma, which is what is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 4th and the 5th verse. I have used this several times in the Mandukya Upanishad. Again, in the summary, I have to use it because it is the truth. मया तमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मतानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेष्वस्थितः न च मस्तानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः ममात्मा भूतभावनः. Again by heart. These 2 verses by heart. 7th verse of Mandukya by heart. Keep it with you in the back of your mind. This world is nothing but it is manifestation and unmanifestation of objects and beings in Atma. Compared to the Atma, this world is there. Compared to Atma, world is there. I can say both because when it is manifesting, I am experiencing. When it is not manifesting, I alone am. The second portion is Pavada, negation. The first portion, 4th verse, is Adhyaropa. Adhyaropa Apavada. This is the method used in Bhagavad Gita. A method is used in Nirvana Shatkam. The first 3 lines of Nirvana Shatkam, I am not the Buddhi, I am not the Prana, I am not this. All this is what Adhyaropa. So, by this method of understanding Bhagavad Gita, I can own up my Swarupam. Swarupam is something which never changes. That is the definition of nature. Swarupam means nature. My Swarupam is consciousness. I am conscious of the waking state, conscious of the dream state, conscious of the sleep state. I am never born as consciousness. I am changing as consciousness. Objects change, but I don't change. So absolute truth is Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmartau Brahmanahutam Brahmaivatena Ganthavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Again, a Mahavakyam of Bhagavad Gita. The whole world is nothing but Brahman. The whole world is nothing but Turiya Atma. The 7th mantra and this mantra is exactly the same essence. So, Upakrama, Upasamhara, the Tatparyam of chapter 1, 2, 3. Upakrama means the beginning and the end of the text will tell you what is the central teaching. Tatparyam means central teaching. When you study first chapter, when you study the fourth chapter, first chapter is Upakama, fourth chapter is Upahara. In the beginning and in end, Shankaracharya, Paracharya are telling us there is only one Tatparyam in Mandukya Upanishad, and that is Advaitam is Satyam. And what is that Advaitam? Na Anta Prajnam, seventh mantra. So, universeless Brahman, universeless Atma is me. Knowing this, I am ever free. Can you see moksha is so easy? It's only knowledge. If you can absorb this knowledge, contemplate on this knowledge, and own up this knowledge, it will give you tremendous peace, happiness, and security in life. All the time I'm insecure. What will happen to me? What will happen to me? What will happen to me tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next year? That insecurity can be broken up. Insecurity is samsara. Security is moksha. Saha atma, saha vigneya. I am that Satya Atma. I am that truth declared by Mandukya Upanishad. If I can own up that truth, I am free here and now. Forgetting my nature, I convert my life into a burden. I will complain about everything in life. That was not good. The government is not good. So many things are happening in the world, and that is not happening. This is not happening. My son is not behaving well. My husband, of course, he is ever the same. So many confusions. Remember, all these are notions in your mind. They are only rising and falling. Tomorrow you say, all these are very good. It's a notion again. What has not changed is the Atma, the consciousness, which is illumining the notion. Every notion is Maya. Every vritti is Maya. It is ignorance born. Shankaracharya will say that in the 10th Karika of the 4th chapter. Every notion is born out of ignorance of this Turiya Atma. So life is an opportunity to claim my higher glory, which is pure Atma. So Upasamhara in the 3rd chapter is the 48th Karika, which we have seen. Some more mantras which explain to you about this freedom of a jnani is given in 3rd chapter, 10th section, 6th verse of Taittiriya Upanishad. We have done Taittiriya Upanishad before. I'm just referring to it so that you understand what is the meaning of this freedom. This freedom, once you claim, this Turiya Atma, once you claim, you claim Parama Ananda, Atma Ananda. And then what will you say? From that standpoint, you will say the entire universe is nothing but it is in me. It rises in me, it exists in me, and it resolves into me, the Atma, Turiya Atma, body. If we have finished so much of teaching the 3rd chapter and we can enjoy Jivan Mukti, why should Shankaracharya and Gaudapadacharya write 100 verses in the 4th chapter? This is the way Shankaracharya explains. This is the way he writes commentaries. They are, you see, in so much in the previous verse of Shankaracharya, we have done so much of analysis. So What is the purpose of chapter 4? If you ask, the purpose is to learn Advaita Darshanam is alone the right knowledge. See, there is no use uh, telling that it's also the right knowledge. There is no also in Advaita. What we have to prove is Dvaitam is not the right knowledge. Advaitam alone is the knowledge. We cannot be accommodative in philosophy. सब कुछ ठीक है, ये भी चलेगा वो भी चलेगा नहीं. Advaitam alone will be there, is the truth. In mathematics, you say 2 plus 2 is equal to 6 also, 7 also, and maybe 4 also. Same in philosophy. You cannot say Dvaitam and Advaitam both are there. There are some philosophers who say Dvaita Advaitam. When you come to Vyavahara, Dvaitam. In my own self, Advaitam. No, that is not true. Only one can be true. So we need to understand why wrong is wrong and why right is. To understand this is the fourth. Dvaitam na samyak darshanam. Dvaitam is not a clear knowledge. Dvaitam Visishta Advaitam is Mithya Darshanam. It is a false knowledge. Why world is false? Why Dvaita Darshanam is not correct? To understand this answer is the purpose of chapter. Again, how this truth, Shankaracharya quotes how Anjaneya will say, with reference to the body, I am Dvaita Bhava. I am your Dasa. Anjaneya will tell Sri Rama. With reference to the Chidabhasa, which is the Jivatma portion, I am one of the reflections of you. I am a part of you, which is the Visishta Advaitin philosophy. With reference to Atma, Atma Buddhaya Tvameva Aham Iti Nishchitamatihi. I am very clear. I am one with you all the time. Because Advaitam is the truth of the universe. See, all the Dvaita Bhaktis, Dvaitins will say Bhakti Yoga will take you to moksha. What Advaitin is saying is moksha is your Swarupam. Understand that it is your nature and you merge with you, or you can merge with the God, because God and you are ultimately the same consciousness. So, apekshika satyam, relative satyam is not correct. What is required is absolute reality. We must understand. We study Shastram not to arrive at relative reality, but atyantika reality, absolute truth. Relative truth, my pratyaksham and my anumanam will tell me. Pratyaksha means whatever I can see through my eyes, ears, and all, it will tell me Dvaita is the truth. But the truth will be known through Shastra Pramanam. So Deha Buddhya is wrong, Jiva Buddhya is wrong, Atma Buddhya is the right answer. So, big dreamer, these are all relative. But what is common? Turiyan is common. Shankara respects other munis, Kapila Muni, Patanjali, Gautama Muni, Kanada Muni. They are all great rishis. We respect the people, but we reject their ideas. Dvaitam is the idea, we reject it. As a personality, I respect you, but ideologically, I not accept what you say. So Dvaitam has to be negated. Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaiseshika, they are all Dvaita philosophies. They are asked, they have to be rejected because they are not Satyam. They are Mithya. They're all Astikas. They believe in the Veda, but they have wrongly concluded the Veda. The Nastika Darshanam, Buddhist philosophy, also has to be negated. There are two Buddhist schools. There are actually four Buddhist schools, uh, which are negated by Shankaracharya in this commentary. Uh, so some of the philosophers, they don't accept Aikyam. Aikyam means they will never accept that Jiva and Paramatma is one, like Visishta Advaita. We say the thumb and the, in the Anamudra, thumb should touch the bottom. The thumb and when we say the thumb and the small finger, they are joined to each, they are joined together, and it is Aikyam. It represents Aikyam. You drop the three long fingers, you drop in the chin. And the three fingers, waking, dream, and sleep, you drop. And then the whatever is left is called as the Diya Atma, where the Jivatma and the Paramatma, they merge. What will Visisha then say? He says that thumb should not touch, should touch the bottom, not the top of the thumb. What they mean is that you should never have oneness with Paramatma. Paramatma is always great. But what we study here is there is aikyam between Jivatma and Paramatma. So all contradictions must be refuted. That is the objective, this fourth chapter. Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaiseshika, Buddhists, all are refuted one by one. Be interesting. As you go on, many of your own doubts will start getting cleared. When Shankaracharya allows most all these people to argue with each other, you will also find, oh, this is what I have been thinking also. So notion is wrong. In all this, there is one very important argument given out by Shankaracharya, which the other philosophers don't accept. And that is, Vyavaharikam is Satyam, it is Mithya. Paramarthikam is Satyam, it is Advaitam. We talk about two realities, whereas Dvaitam talks about only one reality. Sankhya is Dvaitam, Nyaya is Dvaitam, Yoga is Dvaitam. In Dvaitam itself, they will contradict each other. They are opposite. We will see how in the next few talks, you will see all that. So what does Advaitin do? Advaitin will allow all these people to speak, and then ultimately he will come out with a proposition and say, you're all talking about relative truths which can never be the same because notions in each philosopher will be different. Your mind is different. You think differently. But what is the truth? Mind is not the truth. Substratum of the mind is the truth. So all transactions are nama rupa. What is the ultimate truth is paramarthika satya. And Shankaracharya here he gives two mantras. The third chapter, 17th and 18th verses. You can read them. So he says that fallacies are born, wrong fallacies are born in mithya darshanam. And fourth chapter is an elaboration of the mutual contradictions in all these philosophies. I will stop here and start next week with this 651 uh, and 3, 4, 5. So I will stop here. We will analyze this Shankaracharya's general introduction next. I'm going slow, but I want all of you to understand the fourth chapter well. This is the zenith of all Upanishadic ideas which you learn in so many different Upanishads. This is the peak. Okay. Oh, Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudacchade Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.